Hi guys, sorry for the lighting. I was gonna wait to film this until tomorrow, but I was just, emotional after watching the Violet Evergarden movie and just really thinking about the show because I finished the movie and it was overall really good. Don't worry, this isn't gonna be a spoilery discussion because I want this one to be about why you should watch Violet Evergarden. I'm sure a lot of people are probably seeing the movie come out on Netflix and going, what is this about? Should I watch the movie? Should I watch the show? I highly recommend watching the show or watching the movie because you get so much character development. And I think you could probably get away with watching the movie, but it won't have, I think, this same emotional impact as watching the show. Now, I'm a bit biased. I've actually watched the show twice. So I really love it a lot, and it's just an amazing show. So why should you watch it? Well, I feel like Violet Evergarden is sort of like the feeling you get watching a nostalgic movie, eating chocolate cake while you're like really sad about something. So it's like this gut punch of grief at points, but you also get like this sort of like warm tone to the grief you might feel in different episodes, if that makes sense. So it's a very interesting mix of feelings watching this show. So you might be wondering what it's about. Well, it's about a child soldier who, the war has just ended. It's set, I don't think it says exactly when it's set because I'm pretty sure totally based off of a fictional world with loosely based tie-ins to history, but it feels kind of like a World War I or II kind of a thing. Sorry, I need to brush up on my exact history dates of technologies and stuff, but it's something like that. It feels older in a good way. Anyways, there's this child soldier, like I was saying, or teenager pretty much, and the war's ended. She wakes up in this hospital and what's going on, and the story is, I think, really about the after effects of war. How does it affect you as a person? Without, giving too much away, she has PTSD from the war and just from the way she was really treated, right? Like, she was used as a tool, so she never really got to learn about her feelings very much. And so that's really what the story is about. It's about a girl trying to understand her own feelings, what she values in the world. And it's really a sort of a coming of age self-growth story, but it's done in such an amazing way. And you don't just get to bond with the main character. Her name's Violet, but there's lots of really great side characters that have really interesting stories and backgrounds, and it is interesting too because there are some episodes that are sort of like these self-contained stories that are all really, really good, but then there's this really big overarching story with Violet. She ends up working at a post office writing for people, and so it covers a lot of that too. If you are a fan of writing or just of communicating stories, I mean, it's a great show. I think you'll like Violet Evergarden. Actually, if you like Violet Evergarden, I recommend watching this movie, so it goes either way. The Potato Guernsey Peel Literary Society. It's a live action movie on Netflix, but it's surprisingly similar, though I don't think it hits as deep when it comes to all the feelings. It's still really good. I think if you liked Vivi Fluorite's I Song, I kind of mentioned this, kind of niche, but I played this game Trails of Cold Steel, and there's a main character, Altina, in it. Well, she reminds me of Violet and Vivi in Vivi Fluorite's I Song, so they all remind me of each other. So highly recommend, if you liked Vivi Fluorite's I Song, if you have played that game, you know what I'm talking about, I recommend Violet Evergarden because they are very similar in terms of sort of the character and the character's journey. I would say if you don't, it is slower paced, so if you don't mind a slower paced show, that's good. And it's gonna make you feel feelings like a lot. So be prepared, but I think it's a good thing, you know. And if you're dealing with any sort of situation where you're trying to process grief, I think it's a great show for that. You know, if you've been in a war, it's a great show for that. Or if you're like me and you just really like a really well-made show, it's a great show for that. The animation is beautiful. It's some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen in both the show and the movie. It's gorgeous. And the studio had a tragedy, unfortunately, where people were killed, which is really sad. That adds another sort of layer to, I think, watching Violet Evergarden too. But the way they did the animation is just beautiful. And the music is very, very good in the show also. It really gets you to feel sort of this like sweeping, historical, nostalgia kind of a feeling. I think what else you might... Okay, so there's this show, To Your Eternity, which I am working on doing a Why You Should Watch review of that. If you liked To Your Eternity, you will, I think, love this show. Because, well, it's different. They both sort of have this theme of the human experience being a common just theme throughout every episode of both. And both have many different characters throughout the story, and you get to see a lot of different scenarios that people deal with in life, both. So if you like To Your Eternity, like, definitely check out this show. Like, you will love it. I really think you will. Like I said, the show, it's kind of like sad comfort food, but like really well done sad comfort food. And the characters are really good, and just everything is just amazing. And I just love that it's this perspective of someone who's been in a war, but it's a different perspective than you usually, or at least that I've seen, where it's about, you know, somebody who really was raised in war and her reaction to that, and it's a female main character, which is interesting too. They also have, you know, male characters who were soldiers in the war, and you see how they were affected by the war too, so that's cool as well. Trying to think if there's anything else that I could relate. I think that's it for now. Just wanted to do a little short one, but yeah, this is one of my favorite shows of all time. If you like this show, or you check out the show and you like it, like, we're friends. Like, it's such a good show. You will feel things, but it's like so rewarding. So yeah, I hope you check it out. Thanks for watching my review. If you liked this, consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you have a great night. And sorry again for the lighting. Next time I will not film at night. Goodbye.